You know, Shettima is trying to cover up something underneath.
Which is?
There is this very serious search for his replacement. And so, he too is planning very, very hard to manage the situation, how he would respond. And therefore, that statement he made was an evasive statement, distraction, to take our attention from the actual war going on inside their camp. Because 3 or 4 names of Christians have been penciled down to succeed him. And the Northeast has read the Riot Act that an attempt to substitute Shettima is as good as the threat of President Trump to attack Iran. So Shettima is only just being evasive and economical with the truth. But there's no hope for them in 2027, because how will they deal with these issues?
You said there is a plan to drop VP Shettima, and there are 4 names also being. Can you give us shed more light? By the way, you're not a member of the APC, so how do you know this?
You see, we in the opposition, we are more in APC than APC people. As much as they think they have planted the people in the ADC or the opposition political parties, we have more political Mossad in
Mossad.
Yes, political Mossad in APC that pick intelligence at the highest level of what is going on. So we know them more than they think they know us. So far, so good. About 3 to 4 names of Christians have been penciled.
Such as?
Dogara, Yakubu Dogara, former speaker, Bishop Kukah.
Matthew Hassan Kukah.
Yes, Matthew Hassan Kukah, General Musa, Musa.
That's
the former CDS.
Who is the Minister for Defense now?
Defense now. And George Akume.
Okay, SGF.
The current SGF. Now, there is serious permutation going on. This idea of replacing Shettima is to try to please the Americans. Because one of the major grudges of the American president is the Muslim ticket. And President Tinubu has realized that he can't sustain it. More so that the Americans have embarked on strategic or guided airstrikes in Nigeria. And any student of history knows that there is no country in the world where American strike took place and the regime survived. Historically. Go and review it. So, for the Americans to have embarked on strategic strikes in Nigeria and threatening to do more, the intention is simple. They are accusing the regime of failing to perform its primary responsibilities. So, they embark on this strike looking as if they are orchestrating. But the intention, the hidden agenda behind it is that they will always look for the compensation of their bombs that they drop. And your minerals will have to pay for it heavily. That's why an operation to kidnap a president in Venezuela, the country's oil, had started responding for that.
Brilliant. Well, I know the APC would watch this and they would give appropriate response, to your claim, very, very damning claim that, VP Shettima is likely to be dropped and there are 4 names and they actually give us names. But let's switch gears, Anyway, I think more in line with even this train of conversation, Dr. Akim Baba Ahmed, incidentally, was a special advisor to the president, although in the office of the vice president. In a recent Channels television interview, even this morning on Arise, and he was saying that there will be disintegration of the African Democratic Congress, your party, and the leading opposition party currently, since the PDP has almost, disappeared, that if Peter Obi does not clinch the presidential ticket, and if Atiku Abubakar wins, the ADC would disintegrate. What do you have to say to this?
Sometimes when I listen to people who are Democrats speaks the way he spoke, I get scared about our democracy. Democracy is about the will of the people. Akim Baba Ahmed is not a member of the ADC. But he is trying to dictate what will happen in the ADC. And he's a Democrat. Is he now saying that the ADC, which emerged as a result of the failure of leadership and democracy in Nigeria, will now embark on anti-democratic methods to produce candidates? Then why are they challenging the status quo? Secondly, Peter Obi is a member of the party. He had not even officially declared his presidential ambition.
Peter Obi?
Yes, he has not declared. So, neither Atiku himself, they have all not declared. That they contested election in 2023 is not conclusive that they are automatically candidates. There is a process which Akim Baba is very familiar with. Even though I'm older than him in politics, because he retired from the public service to come and join politics. And I joined politics in November 1978 when I was in secondary school in Form 2. When I started following my late boss, Chief Lar. And I was with him until he died. We were together for 43 years. So it is just the dangerous speculation for senior citizens to create national panic.
What would be the motive? What do you think could be the motive for Baba Ahmed? Because, like I said, it was on channels this morning. It was on Arise. Could there be any hidden, motive for going around to spread this, information?
Well, he has just left the office of the vice president, and we don't know why he resigned. So, in politics, like I said, we have our spies in APC working for us. It could be one of them who has just resigned to create an impression as if he's quarreling with them so that he can earn the public confidence and then be able to do the undertaker's job. And otherwise, he is a statesman that statements coming from his mouth should be encouraging.
The political space currently in Nigeria has been shrinking gradually since 2023 elections, to the point where you don't even know the status of almost all the opposition political parties. And as we speak here, Nigeria is being described, by informed citizens as almost a near, one-party state. Is this correct? And what could be responsible for this?
One-party elite state. It's an elitistic party state, that is one. But you see, the situation in Nigeria today, there are two political camps. Okay. We versus them. Hunger versus those who are living in abundance. 2027.
For you are not hungry, sir.
No, I'm not hungry, but many are hungry. Yes, those who identified with those who are hungry are not because they are hungry, but they feel that if things are generally good, everybody will live happy. So, 2027 basically is about the people versus APC and Tinubu. Now, the opposition political parties, you see them, because we practice partisan politics. So they are only offering platforms for those whom, because Tinubu is trying to destroy all the platforms so that there will be only one. But patriotic elements who are smarter than him are preserving platforms here and there. In fact, there are alternative platforms which he might not succeed in going through to destroy them before the election. But for the opposition, it is we versus them. And this we versus them every day is building up. If you take a walk into our communities and just discuss with the common people, you will confirm this thing I'm telling you. And then go and look at this organized defection of governors who will monitor those who are resigning. There has been any community that has resigned to follow the governor. It is only appointed officials resigning. What of the people that elected them? So it means the votes are left behind. And this creation of this scenario is the most dangerous thing for our democracy, because in 2027, there will be a tsunami. So many people with integrity will win election on political parties that APC did not give attention. And APC has been overwhelmed by arrogance and pride. If you listen to their amateur national chairman, when he was speaking.
That's your fellow Plateau man. Why do you call?
Yeah, no, but we're not talking about identity now. We're talking about his capacity.
But I thought you want to speak well of your case.
Yeah, but if I speak well of him, will I also invent capacity for him? I will not.
So you don't think he's
No.
He's not doing like that?
No, he's an amateur, because there is no national chairman that makes such speech. You want to listen to him. He's saying anybody who do not come and join us and work for us now, we are not going to allow him to be appointed. Who told him that they will win? He himself has not even won election. He was nominated. He's a nominated chairman. He should wait for the national convention whether he will win election. But you look at the arrogance, you look at the pride, speaking to Nigerians as if they are conquered people. I mean, we are servants of the people. We owe the people a lot of respect. We are who we are by the virtue of their votes. Let us not, demean them to that status which this is uncalled for. All these people jumping now and making all these dirty noises were those who accused me of betraying Christ. These same people. The mood funds, the mental waste.
Jesus Christ.
Betraying Jesus Christ. And
that
for associating with Buhari, we intend to Islamize Nigeria. These same set of people. I was so isolated in 2013, 2014, 2015 in Jos, to the extent that nobody comes to my house. Even if I have nothing to eat, nobody. In fact, if you were looking for a devil, Solomon Dalung was a devil. By these same set of people. They carried the cross of Jesus Christ and the name of Jesus Christ. Today, I have not said anything because I'm watching with unprecedented amazement what is unfolding. But for the defection of Mutfong, he has little knowledge of Plateau people. Plateau people are very, very difficult people. They are very conservative. In the First Republic, they did UMBC. In the Second Republic, they did the NPP.
ANPP.
No, NPP.
NPP, that's
Nigerian People's Party.
Azikwe.
And even the Hausas in the Jos, they are also renegade political elements. In the First Republic, they did NEPO. In the Second Republic, when Plateau was doing NPP, they were doing NPM. What's the history? It is only in 1999 that they founded a party called PDP, because PDP was founded in Jos by the Plateau people, Chief Solomon La. So their allegiance to PDP is like their political heritage, because when they look back at their legends, political legends, they remember their efforts and commitment to this country. So they held on to PDP. Darie attempted this thing Mutfwang did. When, as a sitting governor, he came to ACN. And the Plateau people disgraced him woefully until he came back and joined the PDP. So Mutfwang already knew the results of his election. The campaign in 2023 with religion. The common people of Plateau, majority who are not educated, were told that the APC, which is the son of the broom, is the party of the devil. So you will need Angel Gabriel to hold the broom to change that line of thinking, which the same Mutfwang and his group used in 2023. To compound his situation, Governor Jang, who brought him, who even got the ticket for him, and his political godfather refused to come to APC. The last tragedy of Mutfwang's defection is that Mutfwang was campaigning, and when he won, he told Plateau people that it was God in heaven that gave him power. Indeed, God did. Now, this same God that gave Mutfwang power, the God is dead. Mutfwang now is looking for power from Imiloko. What a tragedy. You know, I'm not a Christian. I've told you this so many times. I'm a believer. You know, Christians are full of comedy. They do a lot of activities, comedy and drama.
That would not be a right statement to make. That would not be a right
statement. No, it is. No, but we believers, you know, we believers live by the dictates of the Holy Scripture. This is the big difference.
Okay.
Yes. So, it's sad that Mutfwang today, who told us to believe in God because God gave him power, is now abandoning God to go and seek for power. I'm coming. I just want to conclude this. Yes. To go and seek for power from a human being. In the Bible, there was a king who sent his servant to go to Samaria and ask whether he was going to live because he was sick. And on his way, God sent Prophet Nathan to go and ambush the servant and tell him that he should go back and tell the king that for abandoning the living God in Jerusalem and going to seek for an idol in Samaria, you will surely die. For Mutfwang to leave the living God in Jos, to go and seek for the chief priest of a Miloko in Lagos, he will surely die politically.
In summary, if I got, just to summarize what you said, so Governor Caleb Mutfwang has buried his political, destiny, his political future, second term, by decamping to the APC. Complete. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm sure the people of Plateau State would have a lot to say about this.